So 36 drivers take to the grid one final time. Cinemax, and it's the last race of the season. 13 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap set to get underway very shortly. The red lights will be on the starting gantry very, very soon as well. And your grid is as follows. On pole position from the Netherlands, it's Mick Knowlton. Clayton Ravenscroft, one of the two title protagonists coming into this round, is alongside him on the front row. Jason Lockwood and Dylan LaHaye, row 2. Charlie Turner, Nelson King, row 3. Matilda Olsson and James Lingard, row 4. Ilian Brunsils and Kieran Gifford, that completes the top 10. Nick van der Mosselaar in the 318, Fabian Bock in the 313, the 330 of Will Jenkins, the 307 of Felix Varget, the 325 of Tom Edmonds, the 316 of Eduardo Cosseteng, Guilherme de Oliveira on the 312, the 375 of Lorenzo Stolk, the 387 of Clementine Benoit, and the 329 of Lewis Gilbert rounds out the top 20 and completing the 36 strong. It's Sam Harrison, Teddy Clinton, Mario Sidler, Andreas Hebauer, Kian Sang, Maxim Tyriev, from Russia, Storm Breur, Bram Ossevarde, Patrick Grunquist, Yash Ramajankan, Victor Plateau, Endo Shogo, Ben Donkin, Emily de Hoys, Vincent van Kerkhoffen, and Zen Rudenberg. So it looks like there was a change post-race after the second chance heat a little bit late earlier on today. So it's going to be an interesting one over the next 13 minutes plus an additional lap. As I alluded to earlier, we will confirm every single champion and every single person in the championship standings and the weekend winners, of course, a little bit later on our various social media channels through Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram as well. So, Knowlton and Ravenscroft, Lockwood, LaHaye, Turner, King, Olsson, Lingard, Brunsils, Gifford, van der Mosselaar, Bock, Jenkins. Varget doesn't look to have, he's not starting this one, so we're down to 35 already. So Felix Varget will now not take part in this race. So it's Nick van der Mosselaar, Bock, Jenkins, Edmonds, Cosseteng, de Oliveira, Stolk, Benoit, Gilbert, Harrison, Clinton, Sidler, Hebauer, Sang, Turiev, Breur, Ossevarde, Rundqvist, Ramjankan, Plateau, Shogo, Donkin, De Hoys, Van Kerkhoffen and Rudenberg. That's the 35 that will take to the asphalt here at the 1,360 metre circuit, simply known as the home of champions. We go into turn 11 on the formation lap as everyone gears themselves up, primes themselves, and maybe, who knows what the red mist behind the visors will bring very shortly. The red lights ignite on the starting gantry for the final time in 2019. They come around the final corner. They go into the tram lines. The engines roar up the rev range. Do we go lights out for the final time this season? Yes, we do. And Ravenscroft gets an absolute blistering start, followed quickly by LaHaye. Knowlton down to third already. And Ravenscroft's gone off. He's gone off of turn number 2. Disaster for the 399. There's absolute mayhem off of turn 2. 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers, including Ravenscroft, have been compromised, and someone's taken a very cheeky little shortcut there that will definitely be investigated, I feel. But drama for Clayton Ravenscroft in the final race of the season. He went round to turn 2, possibly it might have been out of his control, but he's managed to rejoin. But at the minute, Dylan LaHaye now in the lead of the race. Charlie Turner in second. Well, he was in second because Mick Knowlton just went up the inside of him. Nelson King in 4th place. So an absolute mess happening through the exit of turn 2 into turn 3. And the runoff areas, because the rain has been intensifying, that's made that slicker than an ice rink, and people have just tried to go round, because they can use it on the first lap, but it just caused absolute mayhem and pandemonium. And I can just see the amount of rallycross style 11s down on the exit of turn number 2, heading into turn 3, as they now come around to complete lap number 1, and it's a GKS 1-2. Mick Knowlton leading, Dylan LaHaye in second, Charlie Turner in third, Nelson King, Ilian Brunsils, Matilda Olsson, Kieran Gifford, Will Jenkins, Tom Edmonds, Lorenzo Stolk, Eduardo Cosseteng now up into 11th, ahead of Mario Sidler, Sam Harrison, Andreas Hebauer, and Lewis Gilbert all the way up into 15th already. And there's another cart off of... now, who is that? I'm just seeing where... now, Ravenscroft all the way down in 31st. Who is that? It's Jason Lockwood. Lockwood lost it going into turn 2. It looks like he was down in 17th. So now that's really, really hurt his chances of getting a good finish towards the end of the season. But now it is going to be GKS Lemons Power on home soil against Dan Holland Racing. It's a 1-2 for GKS. DHR, it's a 2-3, 3-4. And it looks like Matilda Olsson now is in 5th place. Now, where is Ilian Brunsils in all of this? He's actually dropped back a little bit behind the Swedish driver who captured the 2019 Roadsax Max Euro Trophy Senior Max Crown a bit earlier on this year. First weekend, as there's a great battle there, looks like between Will Jenkins and Kieran Gifford. That is over 7th place as the leader comes across the line to complete lap number 3. That looks to be lap number 2 now. And at the moment, well, that's James Lingard, I think, who's now decided to park it. Or didn't even make it past lap 1, unfortunately. And in the meantime, just keeping an eye where... Now, Clayton Ravenscroft is starting to fight back. He had that spin off of turn number 2. And he's now up to 27th position. So Mick Knowlton leading Dylan LaHaye by a comfortable 1.3 seconds. Charlie Turner only about half a second adrift of Dylan LaHaye in 3rd. And then it's Nelson King. So 2nd to 4th are starting to close up a little bit. Matilda Olsson, what's the pace she's setting at the moment? 1 minute 16.7. So about a second off of like LaHaye. Yeah, so LaHaye, Turner and King. Knowlton's the fastest one out there. He's comfortably trying to stretch that advantage. 9 minutes and 33 of the season, plus an additional lap left to go here in the final race of the season. So, and Charlie Turner is actually quicker than Dylan LaHaye at the moment. So he wants to keep himself in pretty good fighting form, I think, in preparation for next season. He's just come here to enjoy himself, have some good racing, hard but fair. Now, where is Clayton Ravenscroft in all of this? Because he was 27th last time around, as Sam Harrison and Andreas Herbert have got past Tom Edmonds for 11th and 12th respectively. Ravenscroft now into the top 25. He's 24th at the moment is the Brit, as there's a little bit of tussling a bit further down the order, just in front of, so Eduardo Cosseteng trying to go up the inside of Sam Harrison, nearly the Brit having to hang on and fight for that place. So 1 minute, 1.4 seconds now separates first and second. So Knowlton consistently lapping in the 1 minute 15 2s and 3s. At the minute, he just did a 1 minute 15.324. So we'll see what happens as drivers trying to jockey for position. Brunsils is being aggressively attacked, I must say, from Will Jenkins in the 330 from KR Sport, as more drivers trying to find their way past others. As the 375, no, that's the 375 of Lorenzo Stock trying to go up the inside of Kieran Gifford for position. Gifford's going to keep it around the outside, but Stock goes up the inside, gets the run on the 330 of Jenkins, and then gets a little bit of an assist. And that was very close indeed for Kieran Gifford as he went up the inside of the pair of them. That's an absolutely blinding move, but then it's put it 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Kieran Gifford knew that he's going to try and chance it, but it wasn't going to happen. He's going to go up the inside, maybe the pair of them. Is he? No, he makes it past one, and that was Lorenzo Stolke he got past. So Kieran Gifford clearly putting all at risk, including his safety, but he's managing to make sure it's quite firm and fair. Out there at the minute. The lead at the moment is now 1.6 seconds between Mick Knowlton and Dylan LaHaye. Third is Charlie Turner, who's 2.3 seconds off of Mick Knowlton, as we now approach 7 minutes and 5 seconds plus an additional lap left to go in this season, plus an additional lap. So we'll have about 8 or so minutes of action, make that 8 minutes and 15, depending on when they cross the line. So, top 15 at the moment. Knowlton leads from LaHaye, Turner, King, Olsson, Brunsils, Jenkins, Stork, Gifford, Harrison, Cosseteng, Herbert, Edmonds, Breuer and Sidler. And it has been confirmed that James Lingard is an official retirement. Felix Fargier did not start the race. And now, Ravenscroft is making some progress, but it's not going to help him. He's 22nd at the moment, but he's lapping. No, he's not. He's 19th. He's just taken another 3 positions on that, make that 4 positions on that lap. He was 22nd. He's now 19th. He's going to be closing on Guilherme de Oliveira, who's about a 10th or so in front. And I'm just having a look at the times. He's about 2 seconds adrift of Tom Edmonds in 15th. So he's making steady progress, but probably at what he considers steady progress. Maybe steady progress would be considered a position or two. But then when it comes to Senior Max, if it's steady progress, you're probably talking 2 to 3 positions a lap if you really are on the pace. And he is on the pace. He's running quite quickly. Last time around, he did a 1 minute 16.332. He's running in the 1:16.1s at his very, very best, is Clayton Ravenscroft. But Mick Knowlton has just gone sub 65 seconds, 1 minute 14.964 on lap number 4. And now completed lap number 6. And his lead now over Dylan LaHaye is 2.361 seconds. Charlie Turner third, a further 0.778 adrift. Nelson King in fourth, Matilda Olson in fifth, and quite lonely out there at the moment, so Olson just keeping it quite steady, using this as a test bed to really find out what the Sodi Kart chassis that she'll be using, which she'll officially be using that at the grand finals in just 2 weeks. As another change for position here, as that's very, very close indeed. And it's the 330 of Will Jenkins, who took a little bit too much, I think, got a bit greedy at turn number 5. And that's allowing Sam Harrison to try and keep on level pegging with him, as Mick Knowlton now comes through turn number 9 and powers down all the way down to turn 10. Meanwhile, Dylan LaHaye is being kept a little bit honest by Charlie Turner. Turner went quicker in the first sector by about 2 tenths and then lost out 4 tenths in sector 2 to Dylan LaHaye. 4 minutes and 23 plus an additional lap. Positional changes. Ravenscroft is now past the Oliveira. Lockwood up into 19th behind his KR Sport teammate. So 3 drivers from KR Sport completing the top 20. So Ravenscroft last time around did a 1 minute 16.993. He's got to try and get past traffic. And he's got past, it looks like, just seeing where Ravenscroft is at the moment. He's past, yeah, he's 17th now. He's got past Lewis Gilbert and Tom Edmonds. So Ravenscroft just did a 1 minute 17.524, but he's trying to get past traffic as quickly as he humanly can. But time is fast running out, because I think the title has gone one particular way, and unfortunately it might not be in his favour. As he came into this round with it, as we've said, someone else has gone rally crossing off of the outside of turn number 5. So Lorenzo Stolk has got past Will Jenkins for 7th position. We're getting very, very close towards the last 180 seconds plus an additional lap, as there is an absolute squabble going on. And a lot of it is KR Sport colours, including maybe a Persistence motorsport driver, which looks to be Lewis Gilbert in the middle of all that. So Knowlton has the lead now of nearly 3 seconds over Dylan LaHaye. Charlie Turner still in third. King. Now comes Olson across the finish line in 5th place. Then it's Lorenzo Stolk who's got past Ilian Brunsils. Will Jenkins, Andreas Hebert, Kieran Gifford, Sam Harrison, Eduardo Cosseteng, Storm Breuer, Maxime Turiev and Mario Sidler round out the top 15. And between Sidler and Ravenscroft is now in 17th, as De Oliveira has got past Tom Edmonds for 18th. So Ravenscroft is about half a second adrift of Lockwood, but then he's got a further 4 tenths as the sun now actually peers through the clouds and starts beaming down a little bit too late, I think, for the driver's liking, or tried to just then. We've got a bit more light shining down on the track here. So 120 seconds and an additional lap still to go in this season, as Mick Knowlton just calmly getting on with the task at hand. Dylan LaHaye just trying to make no mistakes at all in the last few dying moments of this season. And he's been running with GKS for around 7 seasons, this one included. Charlie Turner doing a great job just sort of keeping pace, and he's actually slightly quicker than Dylan LaHaye. He's running in 3rd at the moment. Nelson King 4th, Olson 5th, Stolk, as Lewis Gilbert unfortunately has parked it, so that's the Scots diamond display coming to an abrupt end there, unfortunately. So that's a real shame for Lewis Gilbert, with having just parked it with a couple of laps remaining. in this race. So Ravenscroft has got past Mario Sidler. He's working with Jason Lockwood, it seems, to try and do his best to get some points before the end of the season. Ben Donkin has dropped all the way back down towards the tail end, Charlie of the field, down to 33rd position. As we now go into the last 60 seconds, 50 on the clock, plus an additional lap. Mick Knowlton comes through, the right-hander at turn 10, which has been a bit treacherous, but has also provided us with some great action this weekend here at Karting Genk. Sam Harrison gets past Kieran Kifford for 10th place on the last tour, as Mick Knowlton powers out of the final corner. This time around, it's going to be the penultimate lap of the season. Dylan LaHaye just keeping the blinkers on, looking forward, and just looking to cross that finish line. That's all he needs to do now, and he's doing that quite nicely. So Ben Donkin also has called it a day for the weekend and for the BNL Karting Series season. A real shame for the 348 from the United Kingdom. So that's it. The final countdown has been ended. That is it. That's over. This is the penultimate lap of the race, let alone the season. And we're going to have a very, very happy individual in just a couple of moments' time when he crosses the finish line. So Mick Knowlton comes down to turn 10. It's the penultimate time of the season, but it's great to see him back to winning ways this year, having taken one of the qualification heats earlier on today. And always had a great camaraderie with him and his dad Noel as well. So really good to see them back in the paddock. Last time I saw them was at Marienburg back in early July. But one more lap to go for Mick Knowlton. Dylan LaHaye has got the sign that he needs. Takes a glance over the right shoulder and sees where Charlie Turner is. Nelson King still in 4th place, ahead of Matilda Olsson. It's still very much just a moment to savour for one particular individual, because it looks like there's going to be another driver that's going to be thanking his lucky stars that he's off to Sano in a couple of weeks' time, provisionally speaking, as there's more battles up and down the order, more positional changes. Sam Harrison 9th, Kieran Gifford past Andreas Hebel for 10th place, Jason Lockwood 14th, Ravenscroft, I think, has sort of said, well, I've tried my best, I'm going to have to settle for 16th position, and that's what he's having to do. But we come towards the final few corners of the season. Mick Knowlton heads into turn 10 for the final time in the lead with a comfortable gap, a comfortable buffer to his fellow GKS Lemons Power teammate Dylan LaHaye. Round the final corner to take the final checkered flag of the season from the Netherlands. GKS's very own Mick Knowlton. Dylan LaHaye is going to cross it in second. Let's see if we get any emotional response. Not quite yet, but let's see. He's going to slow down. But I think the title is provisionally his. I'm not going to count my chickens before I hatch. That's why I said the word provisionally. But if he has done, well done to Dylan LaHaye. Looks like he's taken the... He's now been the new champion crowned after Joe Turney, taking second. Charlie Turner in 3rd. Nelson King in 4th. Matilda Olsson in 5th. Lorenzo Stolk finished ahead of William Brunstils at the end of the race. Well, Stolk finished ahead of Will Jenkins, Sam Harrison, Kieran Gifford. Ilian Brunstils finished in 10th. Ahead of Andreas Hebel, Jason Lockwood, Storm Brewer. Clayton Ravenscroft would cross the line for the final time this season in the BNL Karting Series, just ahead of fellow KR Sport teammate from the Philippines, Eduardo Constantang, who rounded out the top 15. Maxim Turiev, Mario Sidler, Guilherme de Oliveira, Nick van der Mosselaar, Teddy Clinton, Tom Edmonds, Patrick Grunquist, Victor Plateau, Zen Rudenberg, Emily de Hoys, Fabian Bock, Bram Ossivarde, Kian Sang, Endo Shogo, Clementine Benoit. Looks like there's one kart that's a GKS kart that's just a bit forlorn, unfortunately. That will be recovered very soon. Ram Jankan was down in 31st, ahead of Vincent van Kerkhoffen, with Ben Donkin, Lewis Gilbert, and James Lingard not completing the race, with Felix Varget a non-starter. And that concludes what's been an exciting 2019 BNL Karting Series season.